Hi, Trudi Jaye, author. How are you? I'm sitting here today in my office for another quick chat. I'm going to try and make sure this one doesn't go long like my last one. So I just want to talk generally about one of my series, just to give you an idea. It's kind of like a general chat about dragons. Hey, dragons. It's called the Dragon Rising series. It's one of my best-selling series. It is about a dragon shifter called Mei. She doesn't realize that she's a dragon shifter. She is raised in an environment where she's constantly being hidden. She knows she's being hidden for a reason. She thinks the reason is because her father is a secret agent, a part of a governmental intelligence group called the Supernatural Intelligence Agency, which deals with all the supernaturals that are out there in the world that are hidden from the humans, that are secretive. So there's all sorts of different people. There's shifters of all different kinds, supernaturals, voodoo people, there's mermaids, there's all sorts, anything you can think of. They're all considered supernaturals in this world. And she thinks that she's a water elemental, which is someone who's got an affinity with water and can kind of do magic around that. She thinks that she's being hidden because her father is this special agent guy, and he's kind of well known, really good at his job, and she thinks that because she's his daughter, she would be a target, and he's eliminated that by keeping her hidden and being looked after by two mentors. One is an older supernatural agent. Oh, here comes my dog to say hello. An older supernatural agent and someone from a race of, they're called chameleons, and they are protectors in this world, and he can kind of turn and like he can kind of like a chameleon changes colors, but it can also add on a layer of kind of protective, thick lizard-like skin, chameleon-like skin, to protect himself from fights, and they are known as kind of protectors. So she's got these two people who she considers her mentors, looking after her full-time. She lives with them and they train her, and so she's not been sitting around doing nothing. Well, she did. So initially she just had these people protecting her, but they kept getting attacks, kept being made on her, and people kept dying. So when she was about 12, one of these protectors, a man named Jeff, he's the supernatural intelligence agency man, he decided the only way to keep her safe was to train her herself, like to train her up to be one of the protectors. So since the age of 12, she's been trained on martial arts and how to look after herself. And so she's a tough. They have her help plan their strategies and what they do and how they protect themselves and protect her, really. And she knows all these different, she knows the protector martial arts, she knows normal martial arts, she knows all sorts of things. And at the time I was doing karate, and so I was using a lot of the things that I learned in karate to write these books. So I was kind of, they were quite relevant in that way. Anyway, so that's kind of the backstory. And the story begins, the guy Jeff, who was her protector, has just announced that he's retiring, and he's too old, he can't protect her properly anymore, and she's gutted, because it's kind of like your dad saying that he's going to retire and leave you, like he's done now and he's going to retire, and that's who he is to her. Like, she has no real connection to her biological father. Jeff he's been her mentor, and he's raised her essentially from the age of 12. And I think in the book she's about, I should know these things, but it's been a while, I think she's either 19 or 20, and she's about to turn, I'm pretty sure she's 20, and she's about to turn 21. And at age 21, supernaturals come into their power. They find out who they are, and I mean, most of them know already, because you're born into a family of whatevers, then you know that that's who you are. But she didn't realize what she was. So she's come out close. It's like two or 3 months before that, he decides he's going to retire and leave, and a new agent, and a young cadet out of the just out of supernatural intelligent group training thing is coming in, and she is upset, to say the least, about that. So he arrives and she hates him on sight, and he's really pissed off about being set this job. Like, he's up and coming, he wants to be the best and the brightest, and he's been sent on babysitting duty for some girl that he thinks is a bit pathetic. So he doesn't want to be there. She hates him, and she overhears him saying that he doesn't want the job, and it's all a disaster. And then something happens, which I'm not going to tell you about, and she ends up on the run with this guy, not really knowing whether he's to blame for their current situation, and kind of having to trust him anyway, just because, that's it. She's kind of in this situation. She's got no one else on the run, has to figure it out for herself. And what they decide to do is to go and confront her father, and he's in New York at the head offices of the Supernatural Intelligent Group, or SIG is much an easier way to say that. It's SIG. So that's the first book in the series. So our main hero, Mei, is the heroine of all the books, and her just having a brain fade. I'm pretty sure the agent is called Seth. Goodness me, wouldn't it be funny if I got the wrong name? No, yeah, no, definitely Seth. I'm just going to check inside the book. Okay, Seth Barnes. Yes, let's go with that. So, this is the book, isn't it lovely? Oh, look at it. Anyway, so that's the first book. Lots of stuff happens. You discover who are some of her enemies that are trying to attack her. You discover, yeah, just all the backstory basically of who she is and why she is the last dragon shifter. Or is she? Maybe someone else is the last dragon shifter and she's the decoy. We don't know until we read the book. So anyway, that's one. Just a side note, my husband designs the books for me, so he's the one who made the pretty eyeball and well, he didn't make it, we got that off a photo site, but yeah, but we did my name up the top together. That's kind of the name that I use in most, like the branding and the way it sits in most of my stuff. So that's pretty cool. And then, so that's the first book in the series. The second book is Searching Dragon. So now she has realized that she's, see, now this is the trouble. I mean, you kind of know she's going to be the last shifter, right? Like the last dragon shifter. I feel like it's fairly obvious. So she's discovered that she really is the last dragon shifter, and now she has to figure out how to be a dragon shifter, and there's no one around to tell her, because all of the dragons 300 years before were killed off. They were exterminated because they were destroying the world. All the other supernaturals got together and basically got rid of the dragons because they were territorial, angry, just overpopulated, and they were destroying everything. So they thought they got rid of them all. They didn't, and then there's Mei is left. But now she's trying to figure it out, and actually shifting into being a dragon from being a human is not that easy and is not as intuitive as you might think it is. And this is the book where she tries to figure it out. And also they kidnap her father. And then this one, Fighting Dragon, is the third book in the series. I'm not going to tell you what happens in this one because I feel like it's too much of a giveaway, but there is that. Actually, no, I can probably tell you. So the gist. So in the first two books, they're hidden from the humans. The humans can't see any of the supernaturals. Well, in this book, she did something at the end of that book, and now all the humans can see them, and chaos ensues because humans are not fans of finding out that they've got supernaturals everywhere, like werewolves. And I don't think I had vampires, but there could be vampires. I don't think there were no characters who were vampires because I'm not a massive vampire fan, but there were definitely like wolf shifters, let's call them, rather than werewolves. Wolf shifters, and obviously dragon shifters, and all the things, chameleons, and some made up kind of shifting thing going on, and some, yeah, not so made up. Anyway, that's Fighting Dragon. It's a beautiful cover. I love that cover. This one is Cursed Dragon. Oh no, she's been cursed. Oh, I have to read the back to find out what she's cursed about. Oh no, I remember now. So she obviously, I mean, she's, one of the things about Mei is that she is a protector. Like, she's someone who, there's someone in trouble, she wants to protect them and make sure that they're okay, right? So she, and that's what's happening in this book. She tried to protect people and it kind of backfired. So, and this is the story of her kind of dealing with that and trying to get out of that situation. Yeah, so that's that one. And then this book is where she meets my main protagonist from the demon world. So it turns out they're all living in the same world, same kind of present day situation. And she meets and gets on really well with Hazel, who is a demon hunter. So demons come into the story here in book 4. And then the final book is Warrior Dragon. Yeah. And unless you I mean, she obviously, by the name, sort of figures out who she is and is a little bit more confident about being who she is in this book, but she still has a lot to overcome. She's still got to figure things out, and there's still the bad guys, and still everyone has to band together. And because of stuff that happened in the previous books, they were the happy band of heroes had been disbanded a little bit, so now it's a matter of kind of saving the day without all of that. And then, so if you're a writer and listening to this is something I suggest you never do. I wrote myself into a delightful little corner where I wrote the last book in the Demon series first, and in that book, for most of the time, this book, she is actually unconscious in a bed. So I had to figure a way out of that, and I did. I figured a pretty darn good way out of that. I love this book so much. It's probably my favorite book in the whole series. I worked really hard on it, and I got myself out of that corner, and it made it awesome. So I would definitely read all the other books, just so you get to read Warrior Dragon, the final book in this series, about Mei and Seth and Damien Walker, who is her father. Yeah, there's some great characters in this series. And sorry, my husband just came home and he distracted me. Another dog is whining because he wants to go out. Anyway, such is my life. Anyone comes home, the dog, I'm chopped liver compared to my husband and my dog's eyes. Anyway, back to Warrior Dragon. So yes, read Warrior Dragon by me, Trudi Jaye. But to read this book, you need to read the other 4 first. Yeah. So if that all sounds pretty exciting to you, and you like kick-butt heroines who fight their way through the action and also have a fantastic found group of friends and family, who have magic that's never been seen or hasn't been seen in 300 years, and who lots of fun characters and interesting situations, and I don't know, just lots of coolness and fun. Read this series. I'll put all of them here. I'll put them all up so you can see them. Look, 5 books. 5 books of awesomeness around Dragon Shifter Mei. Anyway, that's all for now. I'll see you again soon.